Underdog. Unleash the power within.
Jayson Waller, true underdog. We've got a message for you today. Listen, this podcast is about getting information to make you better, to make you achieve success, to make you overcome adversity. And listen, we've got some stories that can go ahead and get you entertained and energized for your day. I've got my co-host on here, John LeBlanc. Do me a favor right now, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on iHeart, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. If you don't like it after this episode, unsubscribe. But do that now, because I promise after you get some information here, you're going to want to hear more, and you don't want to be like, damn, I got to go and look for that podcast again, that true underdog. Go ahead and hit subscribe, and I promise we won't let you down. So, John, how you doing today?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Ready to back in Michigan with you, baby.
In Michigan, yeah. And you brought some sunshine today.
That's right. We're letting the sunshine in. So we're excited about that. Today's message, I'd like us to really talk about, haters and how we have to challenge our mind, right? We all like haters. I had
No, you like haters.
I like haters. I think everybody should like haters. Haters are needed, right? You need fuel. And, a lot of people, chase the wrong things in life. My downfall is probably I like to prove people wrong. So that's my chase and grind. But I think haters are needed. I think it's important because the cream of the crop rises to the top. And I shared something on an Instagram live not too long ago that we had on the podcast about haters. You punch them right in the face by succeeding. So I think today's message, we need to dig deep into that, what that looks like, and why people, especially entrepreneurs or leaders or people that want to grind, why does their mind need to always be challenged, right? Like a drug. Like, why do they got to stay busy? So I think we need to start on those two topics today to help the listeners and viewers out.
You already got me questioning myself. Like, I feel like I should find haters in my life. Like, I don't know if I...
You don't have any haters?
I don't know if I do. I just, you know me well enough.
Do you think anybody at the gym hates on you because you left to come to Power Home?
No.
I think they do.
You think so?
It's a natural thing. There's people out there. You line up 10 people, 4 are haters, dude. 4 are haters, 4 are I don't do anything, and 2 are being driven by the haters. That's what it is. You either hate, you either watch, or you grind. That's it. You fit in those categories. And it's 80, 80, 20. Okay?
How's it 80,
I said that wrong.
20?
It's 40, 40, 20. Can't do math. Nobody said I had to do math.
So look, this is something I always question. Like, why do haters? So here's the thing, right? When you feel, this is at least my interpretation, when you feel there's too many people liking what you're doing, liking where you're at, liking maybe the place where they're at, you have to go out, you have to create this imbalance, this chaos, if you will, on people, I guess, developing this hate for some of your success. Is that true? Am I on the right point here?
I think the problem is when you live or you grow up in chaos. When there isn't chaos, there's no waves, there's no storms or tornadoes or hurricanes. There's nothing crazy, no shit going on that's making you worried and on your A game, and everything is calm. People like me, we wither away. We don't feel purpose. Mm-hmm. It's too boring, right? So, I talk to my therapist. For those out there, I have therapists. I think everybody should have one, right? Wink, wink. But my biggest struggle in life is I don't enjoy the ride. I don't sit calm. The journey, the destination continues to change. And I think I need that. I grew up in chaos. Not a bad thing. I have 2 great parents and great siblings, and we had our own shit, and, things weren't always great. We all went through, bumps and bruises and hard times and, moving a lot and, not living, exactly the way I'm sure my parents or us, wanted to live. But, when you're used to chaos, it's inside you. And, my wife gives me a hard time. She's like, you like chaos. I'm like, no, you like chaos. Well, maybe we both like chaos, but I do think I need chaos. And part of that chaos is haters. Part of it, if everybody's high-fiving and we're eating ice cream and we're celebrating, then we're complacent. And to me, it's a damn competition. Life is a race. Life is a challenge. Life is a game, right? You got to enjoy it, but I want to checkmate as much as I can, and not money. It's not about the money.
Right.
It's about building something and doing things people said I couldn't do, and then challenged to can't do that, and I want to do it again, and keep going and keep going. And that I need that. And if things are too great and everybody's like, yeah, this is the bomb, I struggle with that because I feel like we're comfortable and somebody's going to eat us up. If in a world of all these fish, you got to be a shark, and to be a shark, you need chaos. That's just what I think. And I would agree that if things are good and everybody loved what you did, then there wouldn't be people that want to do more. They would just be comfortable with that. That's what I truly believe. I feel like you need to be challenged. And for me, different drivers drive different people. Some people are financially driven. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying it's the wrong thing in my opinion. It's okay to want to have money and pay bills and better your life. That's a great goal. And that's a decent drive, but don't let that control your drive. Don't let that be your why. Don't let that be your main, because you'll be chasing your tail and it's just bad news. If you want accolades, or what I call like wood or trophies, and you want to be successful, I think that's better than chasing money, because you want to be rewarded for your efforts. And, like if you're in sports, you want to be the MVP. There's nothing wrong with that. But life's also a team game, whether it's your family or your business associates or your peers or your friends. So you need to bring people along for the ride. But my drive has always been, I want to prove everybody wrong. From the moment I, was a kid, people would say things that, you can't do that, you can't do this, you're poor, you live in a trailer park, that's a fake Tommy Hilfiger, all the BS. I just was motivated and felt like the best revenge in the world is putting my nose down, working my ass off, and letting them be haters from afar. And then they become fans and they want to be your friend, or they want to, work with you, or they want to get on your podcast. Dude, that's the best. Dude, that's the best one right there. You get them on, and look, I'm not mad. I want to celebrate them and them do their thing. But what better way to go wink, wink, right? Like, hey, let's get you on and talk about you. And look, for those that have been on, take it how you want. I still love you. But you talk shit, bro, you're going to have to own it. And so now when you come to Daddy's Realm and we got to get on the podcast, we're going to take care of you and let you boost your stuff. But to me, that's a sweet, bitter, quiet revenge. Love you. I got no hate. I never stay upset. But let's not get that twisted. I win, in my mind, by you joining forces with me, or joining me, or wanting to do things with me, because before you said I couldn't, I wouldn't, and I can't. And now I am, I will, and, that's it.
But so, we've talked on a couple things there, right? But, being challenged and having chaos in your life, and even seeking revenge are all.
But look, I'm not telling everybody to go out there and get revenge. But my point is, to me, the best revenge is being successful where they're like, because it starts like this. That guy will never do that. Did you hear the shit he said? He ain't going to be able to build that. There's no way. Then it's like, well, somebody must have gave him money. That's bullshit. They did something to cheat. Oh, I bet they're going to go to jail. Like, then it just becomes infectious and sickness to them. And then eventually they're like, oh, hey, Jason, how are you? Oh, you're doing great. Here's what I'm doing great. I'm like, hey, you want to, let's share it. Okay, that would be great. Checkmate, right? That's what you need. Prove them wrong. I love it. It's like that in anything. It's like that in sports. It's like that in sales. It's like that in life. Shit, it's like that if you're spitting game and trying to get someone to like you. You want them to chase you. You chase and chase and chase, and you're like, shit, I'm sick of chasing. So then you do and do and do, and all of a sudden they chase you, and it's like, damn, this feels good. That's what it's about. Getting people to chase you, being at the front, and them chasing you. But you got to stay hungry, and you got to stay motivated. And I'm not knocking all the naysayers and friends and associates that I do business with or partnered with or done podcasts with. I'm not knocking them. But they know who they are. They know what they said. And I usually never bring it up. But I'm going to share a little bit now.
Bringing it up now.
best way to do it is you bring them along for the ride. You share them on the podcast. You enjoy it. Because I truly love to see all those guys successful. That I mean, I don't want them to fail. I want them to be successful. Mm-hmm. I just want them to recognize that I'm successful.
Do you think they don't?
I think there was intimidation there. You know, when I left, you know, I used in all kinds of aspects. When I worked at Verizon, when I worked at AT&T, when I worked at First Union, when I worked at, you know, opened the first alarm company, partnered in the second alarm company, leaving the alarm business and going to solar was the biggest one. Great friends, great peers in the alarm industry. And we all competed for the number one spot. And, you know, I never really had the number one spot. I did when me and Ben partnered up at Power Home Technologies for about a year. We had the number one spot with a Monotronic / Brinks dealership. But I remember when I opened up my first dealership, you know, I told Monotronics, like, I'm going to be one of your top guys. And they have over 500 dealers. And within 2 years, it was 18th. And within 3 years, it was top 10. And within 4 years, was top 5 and stayed in there for a long time, you know, little old me. And, you know, partner with Power Home Technologies became one. And we had, you know, competitors that were bigger. And then, then they ended up buying us out and things. But at the end of the day, you know, when I left security to go to solar, all of those friends and peers, we'd have these group meetings. They were like, oh, you're going to do solar? Yeah, good luck with it. Man, I hope that works out. They were nice, but I wouldn't hear from them, you know, and that's okay. That's okay. And I was out on an island. I was used to being in a business that I knew and that I can compete. And now I'm here on an island with no peers or friends to talk to or talk shit to or brag and flex on each other to motivate each other. Because that's what we would do. You know, oh, man, we got you. No, we got you next month. It drives. Competition drives, right? So it's a win for everybody. I was out on an island. Oh, look at Waller and Klink over there doing that. Have fun. Have fun. Yeah, you guys, hey, man, good luck, guys. Good luck. And then that turned into, we were, you know, struggle. You know, now, no paycheck for almost 2 years, grinding. I said, silence is key here. I'm not going to call anybody. I haven't done anything. The hell am I going to call about? I'll just continue to do me and brand and not focus. A horse, you know, horses that race, they have blinders on for a reason so they can win, so they don't look left and right. I'm not looking left and right to outdo anybody. I just want to get to the finish line and then say, hey, that was great. Oh, hey, what's up? What's up? That's the deal, right? So that's kind of was my motivation as we started to take off and brand. You know, a couple of them would chirp, hey, what's going on? We chat a little bit here and there. And, you know, I've had a couple on podcasts. I've got a couple coming up very soon. Love those guys. I want them to promote their business. I want to help them be successful. They've all got beautiful families and they're beautiful people. Where they screwed up, or I'll say fucked up, excuse my French, it's my podcast. They told me I couldn't, I wouldn't, or I can't. And that's it. And all of them know who they are. But guess what? All is forgiven. I just wanted, you know, I wanted to be chased a little bit. And that's what happens. And that's my fuel for haters. And hopefully people can relate to what I'm saying because it happens in every aspect of business. And that doesn't make me a bad person. It just means that's my fuel, is to get as far successful as I can and then bring people up. But I wanted to be the leader. I wanted to win the damn race. I wanted to be at the front and then bring them up. Hey, here's how you do solar. You're getting out of home security? Great. Here, now I don't mind. But I wanted it to be my show, not anybody else's show. Because I got sick of being told and I felt like I had to unleash the beast. I was handcuffed. You know, we got to do it this way or we got to do bullshit. We're going to do it my way.
So you're the guy in the game, I guess. Are you the guy in the game that you brought up a couple points? You brought up the blinders. You brought up talking shit. So are you the guy in the game that's, you know, getting shit spoken to him and you're talking shit back? Or are you playing above it and basically keeping silent until the game is won and then going up and talking to your opponent?
I'm going to say both. I'm guilty of both. And I'm going to give you a couple situations and stories that show that. So great relationship with Ben Brookhart, our CSO, and Eric Randese. They were my partners at Power Home Technologies. They were supposed to be a part of the full ride at Power Home Solar. They chose not to. They didn't believe in it at the beginning. Okay, here's a check. We'll do it ourselves. We did. I sold my house. I stuck everything in the damn business I could. Right? Long story short, Ben and Eric, they were working at Power Home Technologies. They left, they joined our team, and, they were original co-founders with us. And now they're on that rocket ship. But the rocket ship has gained so many miles they missed out on, right? That sucks for them. However, humbled enough for them, and we've kept a great relationship where it was quiet the whole time, to be able to go, oh, well, this is an opportunity to better my life, be a part of something my family I'm excited about. Let me join that team. And we wanted that. Look, I am not a believer in a one-man superhero show. I am a believer in we are the damn Avengers. So there are qualities that both of those gentlemen bring that I don't have. Let me say that first. I am not the best at everything, but I will never, ever, 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 ever lose. And if I do, I'm going to die trying, right? That's the deal. Not that anybody else isn't like that, but that's who I am. And I think those guys see that tenacity and passion, are like, oh shit, let's do this together. That's why I love those guys like brothers. That's why it was quiet until it was time. And then it was, hey, you see what's going on now? Come over here. Let's do this together. That's that example. Other examples are people chirping from afar, running their mouth, dropping their little shit hater comments, right? Their little droplets everywhere. 9 times out of 10, John, don't even waste your time getting in the mud, because and I don't want to talk politics, and nor am I left or right, and I'm not discussing it here. Not a Hillary fan for folks that need to know. But she always said, when they go low, we go high, right? Well, that's true in life like this. When they go low, you ignore it. You just show it on the results. And I do that 9 times out of 10. But every now and then, I'm guilty. I'm human. I'm like, shit, you know what? This guy wants to run his mouth. I'm a fighter, dude. It's fight or flight. I fight every single time. So I'm like, dude, what's the deal? So I've been known to talk a little shit along the way, or flex a little bit more than I should. Hey, man, how are things going? Oh, you don't do that much in sales. Bam! There's our P&L. Yeah, the hell we did. Oh, shit. Don't hear from that dude for a year. That's true. That shit has happened. Don't want to have to do that, but every now and then you have to remind people who's king. Yeah. I don't give a shit what you do. You've got to remind people how it works. We can all do this together and sing Kumbaya and hold hands and take on the world and make it a better place and be a team and never be selfish. But every now and then, you got to remind them. If you're the leader of your company, you got to remind them. If your competitors want to continue to bark and chirp, sometimes you got to remind them. Don't want to. Every now and then you got to.
Yeah, we all get dragged in the mud at some point, right? And kind of fall into that. But
here's what I'll tell you: I never do. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I never look at somebody being successful, a competitor, or a peer, or anything. Even some of the haters over time. I want the best for them. I get excited when I see they're successful. It really, genuinely warms me. I'm like, good for them. And they're doing the right things. And I try to learn things like, damn, look what they did there. I love that. I like that. No one's bigger or better than anybody. It's how you use your time and energy, right? And so I've learned, all the haters I've had or done business with, I've learned something from each one of them. They all have attributes that I don't have, and vice versa. I believe that. So I'll look at somebody running a great company, multiple companies. I'll be like, damn, dude, that guy's on fire, and I'm learning. And I'll even ask questions. I'm not the guy. It's like, look at this poser. I'm not that guy. Right? I'm not that guy. I'm like promoting greatness. And so's Kevin. That's why we're great partners. He's the same way. He's not a hater. He does not hate on anybody, and neither do I. There's no reason to hate. But when haters get me fired up, I like to prove them wrong. Not by them failing, by me doing bigger and better. That's all it is. It's a damn game, dude. I'm competitive. I like to win. I like to be a winner. Nobody likes to lose.
Nobody does. Yeah.
But I'm not mad if I lose. I'm not a sore loser. Damn it, I'm going to fail and learn. I'm going to fall and get up. I'm going to fail. I'm going to learn. I'm going to struggle, and I'm going to get tenacity. I'm going to push through. It's like we talk about all the time. It's one step, fall down. One step. You got to keep doing that. And my motivation is we're not done. I mean, I feel like I've checkmated some things internally that I needed to checkmate, which felt
satisfying,
exhilarating for whatever it's worth. Don't judge. #whatever. But that's it. I don't need to. I don't want to be the richest. I don't want to be. Everyone has their drug.
Yeah.
My drug is proving naysayers and haters wrong. But I don't waste my grind or my motivation worrying about them. I just utilize it as fuel to push what I'm doing faster, stronger, better to get there. Because it's like, really, you want to say that? I guess as an athlete, Michael Jordan, right? We watch the Jordan thing. I'm not saying I'm like Jordan by no means, so please don't take that. I have zero athletic skills and nowhere near the human being that he is, right? After watching that, I hated Jordan. I watched that and I said, dude, I've got all the respect for that dude in the world. But my wife brought up something we were talking when everyone on his team was like, he's an asshole and he does this and he does that. It's because he wants to win so damn bad. And he may fail and screw up, but when a player goes, oh, I'm better than Jordan, I shut his ass down. He brought his A game like nobody's business. That's me in life. That's me in business. That's how it is. Oh, really? It's like that? Okay, let me show you. That's all it is. It's that same drive of having haters to get to the next point. I can relate to that part of him.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point. If you sit back and watch someone just deteriorate or fail, like you're not doing what you should as a CEO or a leader within the company. And I think that's what Michael Jordan did. He was, he may have been harsh when he did it, but it's only because he truly cared about the one thing that was important, and that was winning overall. That's
my goal. Our vision as a company is to go public and every one of our employees cash a check that changes their life. That's my mission. That's my goal. So if someone's my friend or family or I'm tight with aren't doing their job, I don't give a shit. This ain't personal. My foot's going to be on your butt till you can get your shit together. And don't take it personal or whine. That's who I am, because we're here to win. We're here to get it to the next level. We want to provide a service that allows people to own their power. We want to change the world. We say BAM, right? Building a movement, one panel, one customer, one employee. We don't get there. We don't join that mission by me allowing people to get complacent. I mean, look, I love Kevin to death, best friend of the world. He's my yin to my yang. We're the opposite. And I will say I have been so hard on him the last 2 years. It's been hard. I feel bad. But it has made him stronger. And we've had some emotional talks after. And I appreciate him saying, you know what, I needed that. And that's what you do best. And I'm getting the best out of him because not that I need it. I'm part of that. Power Home needs it. It's the same thing with our entire team. And I feel like I hate being the bad guy, but I'm okay being the bad guy, because if that's what it takes for us to win, for us to go to that IPO, for the employees to change your life, for millions of customers to get solar, by God, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't care what kind of road we destroy on the way. We're going to get there. And that's how I feel. And it's like, trust me, I've got everybody's back. It's not personal to me, but damn it, we're going to figure out a way. And that's where I can relate to him. And then when these other opponents would challenge him, oh, you sucked, I shut you down, you got 0 points, you're going to lose. That's when the hater talk sometimes gets in my head. And I'm like, let me prove a point to them. Ding, we'll do in a month what they do in 5 years. Winning, right? Not that we needed to, but hey, hashtag, we got where we needed to be, whatever. That's a driver for me. And it's a driver for our business. Everyone, including the utility companies, you're not going to do this. You're not going to come in our state and do that. We're going to change net metering because we want to be, control freaks and be a monopoly. I mean, good dude, go fly a kite. Like, really? We'll find a way because we want to empower people to do what they need to do. That's my point. Everybody's trying to hold us down. And that's what I love about us. It's how this country was built, on that kind of thinking. And it's what we're doing, in our business. And every single person, from the person who cleans the bathrooms, to the first person who makes the phone call, to the trainers, to the installers, to design, to permitting, to sales, to everybody, HR, admins, accounting, everybody plays their piece. And they're all rowing the same way to get to that point. And they all believe in the same methods. Like, this is us. We're, Power Home strong. We're ready to go to the next level. We're wanting to take that on. And it's exciting because, over this pandemic, we've got to see the true character of our employees. And man, I couldn't be more proud. And I just did a video earlier for 11 Stevie Awards, and that's exciting. The most exciting part is we had a lot of company awards on there. And that's because our employees bust their ass every single day. and they leave it all out there. Just like if you're playing a game, leave it all on the court. They leave it all out there and they give it all. And that's why I want to make sure they're going to be rewarded. That's why I want to get this company public, in hopefully less than 7 to 10 years. I think it'll be closer to 5. The goal is 7 to 10. But if people can hang that long, this can change their life, like Microsoft, like Amazon. Like, why not? Why not be a part of something great? Why not be able to go ring that bell down at Wall Street and be able to cash that check to change your family's life, pay for college for your kids, pay your house off, whatever it is, and still work for the greatest company we've all built. And that, to me, is the mission, and that's what we're doing. And sometimes I need a kick in the ass, and my kick in the ass is being challenged by haters. That's part of my
to tie back into challenge. I think there's really like largely 4 categories, right, in life. So you got your mental, your emotional, physical, and spiritual, right? Like you're at your best when you're mentally challenged, right? Would you also say, because we've had conversations around this, like your relaxation period is when you can, like you bring up poker every once in a while. Like that's your relaxing time. Sometimes the podcast is relaxing for you. It allows to kind of purge your brain, but maybe your brain just be challenged and focus on like 1 or 2 things rather than hundreds. But then you have some people that are like, they can relax by simply like just zoning out. But that's not you. You have to be engaged, and that's your relaxation time, is when you are engaged mentally and challenged mentally on a specific topic.
Yeah, my wife hates when we go to the beach or vacation because I can't sit there and lay in the sun. I have to listen to music. I have to bounce around the pool. I have to walk around. I want to throw a ball. What can we do? What can we get into? ADD to the next level. I can't take medicine. I don't believe in drugs. I drink socially. I don't want to put things in my body. So, I've always been that way. It's gotten worse. And my drug of choice is working, right? I am so, and then I get bored. I mean, we've got such an all-star team, like the world beware. Power Homes team doesn't get better than that. And we're going to continue to add people on that team. And I've been blessed because we've got such a great team that we're all aligned. I mean, we have executive calls every day. That's a tip. Everybody needs, if you're running a company, you need to have those calls every day and talk to the team and be aligned. But, when I'm here in Michigan, I don't have to do the day-to-day minutia, and I get bored. Like, I love hanging out with my kids and family, but my girls are older. They're on social media. They're watching Netflix. My 21-year-old, she has a baby. They're doing their thing. They come over sometimes. My 16-year-old wants to drive around. She's getting her license. She has a permit. She does her thing. My 13-year-old, plays a lot of video games, social media. My 9-year-old plays outside. So I used to coach a lot of sports. I coach very little now. I want to coach more, but it's, they kind of grown up. They don't need dad coaching them. And I have to find something to stimulate me. Me and my wife watch shows. Like, part of my relaxation is I'll go to bed I won't go to sleep. We'll lay in bed at 10 to 12. And we watch shows like Billions, Yellowstone, This Is Us, Million Little Things, little shows that we can connect on. And it's always been our thing. That's how we're connecting. I mean, everyone's different. And it's relaxing because I don't have my mind on EBITDA, growth, sales, podcast, whatever.
Yeah.
Football games, when it was in season, also is a relaxing moment for me. I'm focused on the Lions beating somebody, hopefully, right? All that's kind of gone away. And now with work, I get this window of time. It's like, I need something to, what I like to say is ease my mind, to bring me down and relax me. I've been going all day. How am I going to settle down? And if we don't have shows, and a lot of shows are done right now, they don't have any coming out. My wife has a show or two she watches, a couple chick flicks that, she's like, you want to watch? I'm like, nah, it's too boring for me. I'll play poker. Look, it's not even for real money, as stupid as that sounds. And I spend a lot of money because I'm not that good. I'm okay, but I spend a lot of money buying chips and playing with these guys that I've made friends with on VR poker, that were shooting the shit about life, kids, marriage, business, and we're throwing chips in, and it's a way for me to decompress. it's a way for me to get out of being the CEO of Power Home or the podcast. You know, sometimes you need and not that I'm putting myself on a pedestal, but sometimes you need to remove yourself from this role, and you got to have a different ego does it the role. And, you know, I play dad and I play husband and I play grandfather and I play CEO and I play podcast host, motivational things. You know, now I just want to be a normal person and not have all that. And it allows me to do that. I'm addicted. I found out recently at a golf outing that they're going to legalize online poker in Michigan. So I told my wife I'll be getting a pay cut. A part of my money is going to go straight to poker because now I'm going to play for real money. I love it. But I love it because you know why? You're playing other people. You're not playing the house. You're playing other people. I love it.
Yeah, you're competing, right?
I love to compete, and it's a sickness. That's my drug.
It is, right? But like, when you compete every day, and even every like you compete in business, then you go home and you compete in life, and poker, and all that stuff. Like you're the guy that's going 180 miles an hour, but like the relaxing part is when you kind of coast at 95. Or other people are like 100 miles an hour is fast, and you know they shut it down to like 30 or 45.
I would agree. I don't know why that is. So it's a part that
and like where's your recovery period, or is there not one?
I don't think there is one, and I think that's why, you know. And I'm open. I'm transparent with our employees, and I'm transparent on the podcast. I mean, I never knew what depression was, right? My wife's had a really tough childhood, and so she naturally has some depression, and she has to overcome a lot of that. I've always been happy-go-lucky. I mean, I get pissed off. I mean, you know, I've got a short temper. Right. I wake up, I'm happy, I'm bebopping in the shower, I'm playing music, I'm that guy. I'm getting ready, I'm singing and dancing, you know, I'm that guy. And then when someone challenges me, I'm like, what? Like it's ready to go. But the last 2 years, you know, or last 15 months, well, I'd say a little bit in 18, maybe early 18. And then last year coming into this year, I've had some depression. I've had to overcome that. I never knew what that was like. I never could relate with what my wife would say. She'd be like, I'm just depressed. I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm just depressed. What does that mean? You wake up, perk up. What are you doing? It's all up here. But I've struggled a little bit. And I think it's because I think a part of it is I get bored. You know, if I'm not working out all the time, and right now it's hard to work out. I did have Scott here and we did a little.
Not hard to work out right now.
So it is for me. And I got to be at a gym. But, you know, I need that because that builds endorphins and fights off any kind of depression.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you go so hard, so fast, and you don't slow down, you forget what you're going for. And I struggle with that because I do it because I don't want to let everyone down. I love the pressure and I don't want it on anybody else. But the problem is that addiction of that pressure, you know, I don't get anything for me sometimes, right? So poker's like for me, you know, going golfing Monday. I don't even like golfing. I actually had a good time. Was for me. I smoked a cigar. It's like, hell yeah, this is nice. I don't get to enjoy those moments because I'm go, 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 go. You know, Ben's always like, man, you got to join. Kevin's like, man, you got to put your phone down. You go on vacation. I want to. It's a sickness. I can't. I'm working on it.
Yeah, you know, it's a funny thing. Coming from the health and fitness industry, there was just a lot of people I encountered over the years that, you know, 3 miles or 4 miles would sometimes provide them with that euphoric runner's high. And then it was like 6, and then it was 10, and then it was 20, and then 30. Like they had to. So in that regard, right, with how you operate in business and in life, like the more mileage you put on your brain, the happier you are, the more satisfied you are.
That's a great analogy. And you're exactly right. But
it leads to injury and sickness.
Ooh.
I don't want to throw that.
There's the butt. Look.
But you need those miles on your brain. And so I've had this fight with multiple marathon runners and triathletes, and risk versus reward. Are you a better person because you're running and satisfied? Arguably, yeah. Like, what's it doing to your back, your IT, your bone structure, your muscular system, all that stuff? Like, what's it going to, tissue, all that stuff. So it's interesting. It's a tough balance. And I think you just got to find what works best for you.
We talked about early on in this podcast, not this episode, but early on, one of our first few episodes, balance of time. And I think at that time, when we did that, it was easier. But with this pandemic and everything, it's been harder. Like, man, I came back to North Carolina. I was used to working from the home office when I'm in Michigan, taking some calls, having some family time, really coming to a point to where I can be more of a visionary for our company and deal on a high level. And when I went back to North Carolina, it was grind, which is okay and was needed.
Yeah.
But now I'm in that and I'm here. I'm like, shoot. And I'm stacked up with calls and meetings, but I've got to get back in my rhythm. I am a creature of habit. I need a schedule. I need to be challenged. Things that make me happy. I love family time. I love, I miss going to the movies with the kids. We were at the pool on Saturday. Our house isn't done being built yet, still recovering from the flood, but our pool's done. I love those moments. I love watching my son practice football or my girls play softball or basketball. Those are like the best things in the planet, right? I love watching my wife dance when she's in a good mood. She's happy. I'm like, oh my God, life is great. But when everybody's busy and I'm so used to being busy and then I'm not, I'm lost. I'm like,
it's a fair point. You need your mileage, right?
I feel like I'm a floating ghost.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot because as your kids grow up, they don't need you as much. So now you gain a little bit of time and you're like, okay. And as when you're married a long time, I've been a big believer of a wife and a husband can't be together all the time. Like, for my whole life, I've always worked. So we've always had some hours of separation. The last 18 months in Michigan, I was at home. I was in my office working, but there was still, we didn't get enough separation time where she could do call her girlfriend, call her mom. You need that. I think it's healthy. And so I have to find, going to the gym, doing things, running errands, it keeps my mind stimulated. But there's moments I'm like, man, I'm lost.
Yeah.
And I think everybody goes through it. And, I'm dealing with the best I can. But then I get excited. And, Eric Grandisi brought something up not too long ago. He's like, man, we're going to do 50 million in sales. Could you imagine? That's crazy. And you guys spent 6 million or 5 million on advertising and budget. Like, I bet that's crazy to sit there and manage. And you got to have, balls of steel or something. He said, I don't know. And I said, I'm going to be honest. It's no different than selling 5 million and spending 100,000. It's just a number to me now. We're not even to the goal yet. It doesn't matter if we sold 200 million. I mean, I'm going to be high five, but I'm literally every day is like a playoff game for me. We're not in the championship anytime soon. You have to keep winning every day. And that's the deal. We never say, I want everyone to celebrate for a moment, chest bump, but we got the next. That's it.
Just for a moment.
Just for a moment. I've got a box of cigars the boys got me for my birthday. They're not that expensive, but they're nice. And when we do $1 billion in sales in a year, and we have a plan to $1 billion, I'll open that box and light them up and celebrate. But until that time, it's just a playoff game. Let's keep going, guys. We got more to do. You have to have that mentality. Somebody has to act like they've been there before. And I've never been there before. And my biggest downfall is I'm not enjoying why I'm there, but I'm scared to, John. I'm scared to enjoy it and it break. I'm scared to enjoy it and we lose it. I'm scared to enjoy it and somebody catches us and we do. Like, I'm scared of that. And so I use that fear as motivation to make sure we don't slow down.
I use that in our orientation all the time. I feel like I have to sometimes explain your personality as people come into the company. So I talk about this, and it hit me the other day as when we're going through our orientation and what you just said to your point. You had this business 2015, right?
Yep.
And treated it like a child, like a baby, right? Had to nurture it, feed it, and you almost lost that child.
Yeah.
But I tell them, I was like, look, he was able to revive this human being and does not want to lose that at all costs anymore. Had that feeling already. So when you hear him talk, he's almost lost this thing one time. So if he sniffs something out where he could see this thing going sideways, he will jump on it as quick as he possibly can. So understand that passion and energy when you hear him talk, and just know where it's coming from. It's coming from almost losing this thing in 2016 and reviving it to be a monster.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. And that's well said. That's exactly the feeling that you have. It is when you own a business, or even if you work somewhere, your job becomes like your child. Even when you're managing people, that becomes a part of your life. It's like a child. It's part of your family. And you don't want to see your efforts and everything you love be spoiled by something you can control. There's things I can't control, and I can live with that. But I can't live with anything I can control. And so on my time, it's not going to happen.
Right on.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Good message today, man. That was a solid message.
Good. Appreciate that. Let's remind the subscribers. You better have already subscribed earlier when you first watched the episode. But if you didn't, you go to YouTube, you check out True Underdog, you hit subscribe. You don't like it? Fine. Unsubscribe later, but subscribe now. You can go to iHeartRadio. You can go to Apple Podcasts, and you can go to Spotify. Subscribe. Follow the podcast. We've got great people coming on, great guests. John and I are always collaborating, trying to give you a message and give you a truth out there in the thing. Bam!
True Underdog. Unleash